Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Wolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. So, in the last episode, we wrapped up the Spider-Man No Way Home showcase with part 3, and for this episode, we're doing things a little bit differently. We are doing a review/showcase on WandaVision. So, the reason why I'm doing a review/showcase is that for the showcase itself, we're doing a painted up version of White Vision from LEGO's official Marvel minifigure figure brand, and for the show and for the review, we are reviewing Jaka Briggs's. It says Scarlet Witch minifigure. At first, I was just going to do the Scarlet Witch herself, but then I decided to, you know what, let's go ahead and paint up the White Vision minifigure. Like, since I have it, might as well customize it a bit, and sort of do this as a WandaVision showcase as a whole, and I'd say this turns out pretty good. I do wish I had a different White Vision, but I'll talk about that in a second. Anyways, so, as you guys know the drill, we're going to basically take these minifigures one at a time, do them, explain the process, why we're just about, and then go from there. So for the review portion, we're actually going to do a full detailed review of it, give my opinions on it, what I like, and what I like about it and everything, and yeah, we'll go from there. So, without further ado, let's get this pedestal out and get the showcase on the road. Beginning off with our review portion, we have Scarlet Witch. Now, I'm just going to say that this figure is probably the best Scarlet Witch minifigure I have ever seen because it is just super, super phenomenal how this was designed. So this was made by Jaka Brick over on Instagram, and I pre-ordered this figure through one of their retailers, mini_Lego Go. I hope I said that name correctly. But I really love how this figure came out. So I pre-ordered this like almost a year ago. After some time, WandaVision finished, and they were putting out pre-orders of like, here's this figure, that's coming out, and it was like, oh, this looks really amazing. I want to buy one of these. So I pre-ordered it, and this came in a few weeks ago. But at the time, I was still working on No Way Home. So I had it like off to the side, like, okay, I definitely need to do a review video on this because it's just super amazing. So looking at closer on the figure, I gotta say that it's super impressive. The hairpiece is completely customized as we can see. Like, I think it's got a perfect, accurate representation of like Wanda's hairstyle in the show. Really cool. We can see like the crown piece with some of the engraved detailing looks super impressive. Removing this off so we can get a better look at the figure itself. The head is super impressive. It's a much better representation of Elizabeth Olsen's likeness, and also looks so much better than LEGO's official. So this comes in with double face. So we got like her normal casual smile, and then on the back over here we can see she's got her bemused expression when she does with the chaos magic. I think looks really cool. And now moving on with the rest of the torso, we can see of like the printing continues on with the back. And it continues all the way on the front, which looks really amazing. We can even see sort of this mesh printing that goes around with the coat and the outlines all the way around. The detailing does continue onto the sides, but it's actually left blank, and it's actually intentional because if you look closely on the front of the torso, you can see sort of like at the gap of where the hips are supposed to be that they put in for female characters, which I think looks really cool. Like nice attention to detail. The printing continues on all the way onto the legs, but one of the reasons why I love this so much is because if we move the legs, you can see the printing actually continues inside the legs. That is so well done, and I love that. Like, they didn't have to add that attention to detail, but the fact that they did is super impressive. It's so amazing. It's little things like that I always enjoyed. I haven't seen minifigures do some of that stuff since like AV figures and figures clone trooper minifigures with the decals. I'm sure there's others out there. I just haven't found them yet. But overall, I think that's amazing. It's super impressive. The detailing, and going back on the legs, you can see the detailing continues on. Same thing with the mesh printing. Mesh printing on the boots looks super phenomenal. We also get a little bit more detailing on the arms. Very nice. And the hands are actually custom painted on, which I think looks really cool. And overall, very nicely. Now, this figure also comes in with a couple of extra accessories. So first up, we got this card, and we got this like number card here that we get a better focus on this. We get a number card, so limited edition. It's number 49 out of 222. Got the Jaka Brick logo. This nice digital art of the minifigure, and then we even have their Instagram profile at Jaka Jaka.brick and brick underscore. I'll include a link to their profile in the description below so you can check them out as well. And also comes in with a couple of other accessories. First up, let's go ahead and remove this head because it comes in with a secondary head. So first up, so for our second head, it's also double face. So first up, we have her sort of angered expression that she has in the chaos magic, and in turning it over, we get her like teary-eyed emotional expression, which I think suits up for Wanda very nicely, especially given the circumstances of the show. I think it looks really, really cool. Nice that they added in that extra little accessory for both sides. And also one of the main reasons that I bought this particular WandaVision minifigure is because it has a second hairpiece. So she comes in with this cloak hairpiece, which I think looks super impressive. You can see like underneath the hood, she's got like her hair sticking out, but on the back, if you can see it, move the light a little bit, you can actually see they not only molded out this hood piece, but this cloak piece, but included in some printed detailing of the entirety of the cloak. It's extra miles like this that I just love so much. This is the main reason that I bought this particular Scarlet Witch minifigure, because this is so impressive. Oh, impressive. I love it. It's amazing how they added all this in, added all that detailing in, and it looks so seamless. Too. It's stuff like that I honestly didn't even know that there was detailing added into the cloak until seeing it closer. Like, oh no, there's actually more detailing to it. And it's probably one of those reasons that, like, if I did my own Scarlet Witch custom, I probably would not even have included like much of this, because this kind of detailing is detailing I have no skills with. It's obviously would have to be digitally printed on, but the fact of how they added this in, even though it's minor stuff like this, that it's barely visible, and yet when it's actually put on, it's super amazing, and overall super impressive. And to close off with a little review portion, of course we got two pieces of the chaos magic, which I think work very, very well, representing like, of course, Wanda's powers, and definitely much nicer. It's nicer than some of the other stuff like Lego officially produced it, especially with the Age of Ultron minifigures. And overall, I'm just gonna say again, I'm a broken record, but this is probably one of the best Scarlet Witch minifigures I've ever seen. It's so impressive. I love the extra detailing added onto the entirety of this character, and just seeing the overall final product with all the work that they put into this character was definitely worth the wait. It's super amazing. For our showcase portion, we have White Vision from Lego Marvel Studio minifigures. Sorry if I stumbled a little bit, but with this figure, I don't hate it, but I don't fully like it either. So some of the things that take away from this figure, obviously, aside from the inaccuracy, I don't hate the inaccuracy too much of like the gray suit with the white. And I don't hate it too much because this way we can actually see some of the detailing that was put into it all the way around. I do like that they did, that this is like one of Lego's step-ups of creating minifigures, of actually doing more printing onto the character. So we can see like the torso, of course, like front, and of course detailing on the back. But I also like the legs and the arms. The arms, like, we can see some more detailing, and they actually included more printed detailing on the legs, and on both front and the sides. So it's sign that, like, okay, so they're expanding more and more on their detailing. I don't know if they'll ever do fully printed on like legs and everything. I think that's so far gonna be still sticking with like the knockoff minifigure portions. But I do like that they're stepping it up a little bit. It gives it more like attention to detailing with the character. The head I did add like some of the most complaints with, because since it was part of like the inaccuracy, the gem piece was, I think it was either just plain white or it was yellow, and then the eyes were just blank white. They could have at least changed that aspect up a bit. They didn't have to change up the entirety of the suit, but just fix up a little bit there. So I took like some blue paint and fill in the eyes and added in the white dots. It's actually some of the better eyes that I've made in the past. Like, it's not perfect, but it's much better than some of the previous attempts. items. I did also try to fill in the gaps in between with like white paint. I paint around. As you can see, it's still chunky. It's still chunky. White paint for some reason. The reason is the most difficult to work with. I don't know why. And then with some of the purple highlights that they added around, I didn't really like those, so I filled those in with like silver paint as best I could, all the way around, like on the arms and the legs a little bit. Added in some more white on the side gauntlets, and then on the head, I tried to line up everything, and then with like the metal showcasing around. I still did this in gray to like make it stand out a little bit more, because if I just painted in the lines, that would have been tedious all on its own, and I wanted to move on to sort of like get this out of the way. Wait, I was hoping to, like, when it comes to like custom minifigures, I'm gonna remove this off for a second so we can look at the cape. As we can see with the cape, it's the single hole. I've talked about it before with the Batman minifigures. It's all right, but they could have made it a thinner material, because it's too, because with a character like this, it's a bit too thick, and looks a little bit awkward. But when it comes to custom minifigures, I want to get like Phoenix Customs White Vision minifigure. I think that's one of the best ones. And I'm still looking for one to this day. So that's on my list of sort of like custom minifigures that I want to purchase. So hopefully in the future I'll be able to get one of those. And if I do, I'll do a full review on the figure, and you're gonna sort of do a compare and contrast with this one. Like, again, I don't hate the character, but I felt that like they could have made it more accurate in some aspects. Like if Lego had actually waited for the character to actually be released instead of just looking at concept stuff, then I think the figures could have come out a little bit better. But then again, like in the past, Lego is always known to, whenever they do superhero-based characters, they don't look at the actual characters. They look at the concept art. And concept arts is, as its namesake, it's just concept. It's not fully solid. There's bound to be changes here and there. So again, I don't hate this, but there could have definitely been improvements. At least like paint up the eyes a little bit, and maybe make this piece stand out a little bit more. I don't know why. I don't know. But aside from that, I'd still say it's an okay figure. Not one of the best ones that I've painted up, but it passes nonetheless. Okay, overall, that is going to do it for this episode of LEGO Arts. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this was primarily just a review video on the Scarlet Witch minifigure, which, again, is super amazing. I didn't get the official Scarlet Witch minifigure because since I was waiting for this one on the way, I didn't want to purchase the other one. And also, if I had to give final thoughts on official LEGO Scarlet Witch minifigure, it'd probably be about the same as Vision's. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily like it either. They could have at least given her like better expressions on her face, as well as fully paint up with like the actual crown piece, and maybe change the cape. Again, with the new capes, the one hole slot isn't the biggest problem. I feel like one of the biggest problems is probably the specific material they're using for the capes, because they can be very flimsy. I felt like the more solid ones are better. Plus, it would probably fit better onto the figures. Like the more thinner material would have been much better. But overall, that is pretty much going to be it. If I had to give a review and give thoughts on like WandaVision as a whole without overextending the video, I would put WandaVision as my third favorite. I really love the show. Every episode had me excited for the next one. I had my family and I would come up with a bunch of theories that like, all right, so what is happening with this? What's going on with this? And they have confirmed that for the time being, there's not going to be a WandaVision 2. For the time being, there might be one in the future. I think it will ultimately depend on what route they're going to take for Wanda's character in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and which I'm super excited to see that. I think it's going to be amazing. But we might see a return of White Vision in the future down the line with like maybe the next Avengers movie, or again depending on where they take Wanda's character. That ultimately will decide on the current course of action with their movies. But overall, but either way, I'm excited to see where it'll go. And for now, I think that's going to do it for this episode. So I'm going to go back to working on some other minifigures. I have another custom showcase like on the way. I finally managed to get started on it, so I'm still working on that. I'm also making my moves further onto God of War Ragnarok. Again, I'm still not acting on the characters themselves because I still need to wait for actual like game screenshots of each of the characters, especially from their backs, so I can get a overall accurate idea of how I'm gonna make them. However, I have begun on some partial ideas on how I would approach for Freya and Tyr, and I'm also working on another custom weapon for one of our characters. I'll let you guys know in the future of how that works out. And yeah, overall, that'll pretty much be it. I'll also be reviewing some more Marvel Studio minifigures that I'm partially modifying while partially still keeping intact. And yep, that's pretty much gonna be it. So, if you guys would like to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications. Everybody has us, welcome to Let's Plays, Lego projects, and may that have some fun. Sorry, I'm beginning to lose how to speak. Overall, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time in the next episode. Bye-bye!